I keep my seat on the bed as I unwrap the foil around my sandwich. The smell wafts up from the beef, making my mouth water, and bringing some memories up with it. Are there cow people?
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, it's kind of weird to imagine an otter eating beef.
They do eat meat though, right?
Like I said, look up those fucking giant river otters, dude. They eat everything.
Yeah, they pay attention. They did pay attention to detail too. Where Carl's having veggie burgers.
That is a nice touch.
We'd all spent many nights at the old diner. I can remember the night me and Carl graduated. Leo took us all straight from Peyton High to the diner. Skipped out on the all-night graduation party for sandwiches and milkshakes. I take a huge bite, and a yellow bell pepper slips out of the other end, landing back on the foil. Whoa, slow down, you're going to choke. Suddenly, I'm almost falling over the side as something heavy plants itself next to me on the bed. I quickly grab a napkin and bring it to my muzzle, wiping away the grease. Hey, Leo? Leo chuckles at my embarrassment and unwraps his own sandwich. Sorry if the bread is a little soggy. Garobo over here took his sweet time getting to the car. Hey, working in the town hall is serious business.
Yeah, look at my button-up shirt. I'm very official.
I don't have a family business I can just waltz out of like you.
Hey, Flynn. I'll bet that I can eat this whole burger in 1 minute.
Is that a fucking joke? Of course you can.
Yeah, but what about 2 burgers?
Don't choke, Carl. I decided to keep the conversation on Leo's job, since that's the whole reason why he's still here. Is business still pretty good? Yes. Peyton's getting bigger, so is the number of customers. I guess it's a good thing your dad moved it out of Echo, huh? For sure. The place is turning into a ghost town. It probably will be another decade or 2. By some standards, it already is. I take another bite of my sandwich, biting right into another bell pepper. I'd forgotten how good the diner food is.
Diner food usually is pretty good.
Yup. I noticed TJ sitting next to Jenna at the table, picking unhappily at his lettuce-wrapped chicken. Jenna seems to as well as she leans towards him.
What's wrong, TJ?
It's just... Never mind, it doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
It's just the mayo. I forget they put it on everything here.
Yeah, it's a diner, dude.
Yep. For a long time, I did not want mayo on anything.
I've learned to really enjoy it. I mean, obviously, too much of anything. Too much mayo is definitely bad. Too much of any condiment is bad.
Yeah. I'm mostly just getting used to anything that's on. It's like, this is the way people eat it.
Well, then also people are going to fuck it up. So you just have to and then eventually you kind of just suck it up and try it.
You're priming yourself for repeated disappointment every time they don't do it.
No, mayo is good. It adds moisture to a sandwich.
Jenna lifts up the bun of her sandwich, inspecting its contents.
None of the mayo really got on my chicken. Here.
No, you don't have to. Jenna picks up TJ's sandwich and swaps out his grilled chicken. She rips off the layer of mayo-tainted lettuce from his lettuce bun before swapping her chicken in.
There. How's that?
Thanks. It's then that TJ looks up and sees Leo and I staring at him. I see his ears flatten in embarrassment. What? Nothing, TJ, nothing.
TJ has a crush.
It's like a different color in every angle. It's like, this is such a strange background. So are your parents still letting you live in the house here in Echo? Yes. We actually tried to sell it last year, but of course no one bought. I think 2 people came to look, but took off once they saw the town. Anyway, my parents are living in Peyton in a house twice as big as the old one. Well, it must be pretty cool living in your own house. My parents aren't constantly breathing down my neck, so that's, you know, nice. Leo's already finished his first sandwich, and now he's unwrapping the second. Oh, I didn't even remember. I forgot that he... I guess, did it mention he had 2?
No, I think it just
How
said
many
that...
sandwiches do you need?
Well, I was gonna say the thing
I think
is...
it just said beef for us, chicken for them, and then 3 for Carl
I think
was the
it was like
summary.
4, yeah. But I think the thing is, like, it must be so expensive to feed all these people.
Yeah.
And also just to be them and to buy food. Like, in this whole world, they must have, like, adjusted, like, the cost of food to be livable for people. Because they must eat so fucking much.
I mean, those are just real people. There's just real people that just eat multiple sandwiches, and you're like, what?
I don't really eat that much. I do meet people that eat a lot. And I'm like, I don't know how you afford to live.
Yeah. No, my brother will just order a pizza and then eat the pizza. I'm like, wrong. What? What are you doing? What? I don't...
He's like a snake.
What? I don't understand. I eat 2 slices, and I'm like, that's it. I'm good for like 8 hours. You sure could eat a lot. How many people are still here, anyway? In the town, I mean. Leo takes another bite, and I hear the crunch of the peppers through his muzzle. He chews thoughtfully for a moment before swallowing. Not too sure. Of course, I know almost everyone here, but most don't actually live here anymore. Most everyone's turned their old house into a sort of vacation home now. Really? Why? I can't imagine anyone coming here for a vacation.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's just because you have another house. You're like, I guess we'll go to the other house.
I got bored of this house. Let's go to the other
You're just
one.
like stuck with just a house that you just can't get rid of.
I also have one house where I keep chickens.
Yeah, it's like how I have family that has like a quote unquote vacation house that's just like in the same state, just in the hills, and it's like it's just a house. You just get there and it's like it's just a smaller, different house than the original house.
Like, you have like a house by the coast or a house like in the
they're not like
forest,
beach houses
like
or
cabin.
crazy cool places. It's just in a smaller town in a smaller house, and that's just their vacation house. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Live your life, I guess.
I can't even fathom being able to afford a single house in this economy.
Let alone 2 houses. I can't imagine, but unless your hobbies are meth and dying of heat stroke, he has a very high opinion of his home. Well, they've all got their old houses here, and it's cheap to build. And the town is actually trying to turn that old lake into a recreational thing. Lake Emma? Yeah, they're putting in docks and stuff. Huh. Lake Emma is the old reservoir just a few minutes outside of town. As kids, we used to play around there all the time.
Found some bodies.
It was generally an ugly place. Dead fish on the banks, a terrible smell, and mosquitoes everywhere. Then again, it could have changed since then. I haven't been there in 12 years now. None of us have. Thinking about the lake is making my stomach tighten again, forcing away my appetite in the process. It's been so long at this point, I need to learn to get over things. Actually, that reminds me. The others are pretty deep in their own conversations, but I lower my voice anyway, leaning into Leo. Hey, Leo. Leo turns to me. He had been in the middle of a massive bite, and now has a bell pepper half hanging out of his muscle. That throws off my train of thought for a second. Oh, yeah, so I wanted to get some shots of the lake for my project. Leo ducks his head to pull out the pepper from his muzzle, only to shove it back in a second later. He chews for a while, but his ears are still tipped towards me, so I go on. It's kind of important to Echo's history. Anyway, you told me that on Monday everyone's free during lunch. I can tell by the set of Leo's ears that he knows where I'm going, and he's not too into the idea. It's a lot of expression. I quickly go on. Of course, we don't have to, but it's been a long time, and if the town is making it look better, it could be fun. Listen, Chase. I feel my face burn a little under the fur. Sorry, it was a dumb idea. No, Chase, if it were up to me, I'd definitely do it, it's just... Leo looks towards Flynn, and I do as well, finding him still bantering with Carl. Doesn't matter how fucking fast you eat, I'm not gonna be impressed.
I think it's kind of sad if you eat that fast. Like, how are you enjoying anything?
Enjoy the food. He's got that classic Flynn look on his face, which is the only face he does, where he's pressing his lips together, trying not to smile.
What if I ate all 3?
You've already eaten most of the first one, so it's not gonna happen now, is it?
Got you on that one.
I look back down at my sandwich. I suddenly feel really guilty. Here I am, back after 3 years, just assuming that I know how everyone feels. Now I'm kind of feeling like an imposter. Leo notices, like he always did, and he nudges me with his shoulder. Hey, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. Suddenly Leo's ears perk up, and I know he's suddenly had an idea. His ears made him easily readable, just as reading people came easily to him. It made it all more impressive that he was able to tell what most of us were thinking, considering my short, stubby ears. Or Flynn's lack thereof. Listen, there's a cool spot by the river that's actually pretty close to the lake. We could have lunch, and you could walk over and get your shots. The idea makes me feel a bit better. Alright, that could be fun. Also, this motel doesn't have a pool, so it'll be really nice to swim in something.
Always about the swimming.
Yep. Otters in their waters. Anyway, I'll have to ask Flynn, but I think he'll be okay with it.
He'll just like get naked and like sit on a rock and sunbathe. That's what Flynn wants to do.
That's why his shirt's always open.
Maybe.
What would really impress me is if you didn't eat the rest. Oh.
Uh-oh. You're a funny guy, Flynn.
Carl goes right back to shoving the next burger into his mouth as Flynn looks on in mild disgust. He suddenly notices us watching and he gives us an odd look, but then slowly morphs into a smirk as he focuses on Leo. You're looking pretty happy there, Leo. Not like you've been for the past 3 years. I furrow my brow in confusion and look up at Leo. I see him shift, and he's giving Flynn a look that I don't quite understand. The look is, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, you're embarrassing me.
Well, of course I'm happy to see us all back together again. I look from Leo to Flynn, and it's pretty easy to imagine a bolt of electricity between them. You should have seen him, Chase. He'd go days without smiling.
Agreed. Leo's been kind of a dick ever since you guys left.
Isn't Jenna a counselor? Hey, you should have a session with Leo.
I'm still an undergrad. I'm not going into counseling anyway. That would just make me sad.
TJ's busy trying to hold his sandwich together and eat it at the same time. Not very successfully, but he looks up as well. Because it's just a lettuce wrap and it's been taken apart now. So
I know, dude. I'm
like
just thinking about how gross that probably is now. That's why lettuce wrap is like, it's a bad idea. I don't like the idea.
Yeah.
Get a tortilla.
Leo depressed? It's hard to imagine you not smiling. You seem fine online. Yeah, people curate their thoughts and presentation online. Like how everyone looks like they're having fun vacations all the time on Facebook.
Yeah, it's true. Has something been going on, Leo?
For the first time since he's arrived, Leo looks truly uncomfortable.
He does.
You don't see him like that very often. Not having his arms crossed. Flynn, on the other hand, has his trying not to smirk face on. What? Leo pauses, pinned down by everyone's eyes in the room. Then he takes a frustrated breath. Can't people be sad sometimes? Yes, things have been harder, but I'm fine. I think it's pretty clear that Flynn, Leo flicks his long muzzle at the lizard, is just trying to get some reactions. Sure, I'm just saying you're back to your old self, but seriously, it's great.
Like, people like Flynn scare me because I take a lot of effort
to
and
not make
to
scenes
not
and
do
friction
that.
constantly
Like,
in groups.
I try really hard to have tact when talking to people, and me gauging people's like comfort level and adjusting to that. I feel like people that don't have tact or do this on purpose are scary, like, because they're unpredictable to me.
They just like they just like call people out in the middle of conversations.
People who are
and stuff.
blunt, people who are blunt, I don't know how to deal with them, because it's like I can't predict that you're going to do this, and how do I fix it now?
And they'll weirdly like brag like it's like honesty or something, but they're usually just being a dick for
I'm
no
just
reason.
being a troll, bruh. Like I just like to troll people, and it's like, no, you're just an asshole. Either you're making an active decision to make everyone in the room uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Some people are just like that, you know.
Yep. Leo makes a snorting sound. I'm about to ask Leo what's so stressful when he lifts a paw up again to take a bite of his almost finished sandwich. I go quiet as I look at his paw. A silver anchor tied around his wrist with leather. The word otter is etched into into the shank of the anchor. The name Chase is engraved into the stock.
That's a little bit needy.
I wonder who the anchor could be tied to. Jeez.
Well, it's tied to Leo, obviously.
No, just being like, wow. I did not know it had Chase written on it. That's a lot.
Well, it didn't say Chase. Oh, it does. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, no, it literally has Chase's name engraved
forgot.
on it.
For some reason, I forgot Leo and Chase's name mixed up. Like,
yep. No, he literally keeps an anchor tied to his wrist that has Chase's name on it.
well, we don't know necessarily how far their relationship progressed. We just kind of saw the beginning of it in the last thing we played. So maybe it's really significant. But from how they're acting around each other, I don't think they've had a lot of contact in the last 3 years. So I'm a little bit concerned about this.
Having a rough time. Why was he still... Chase! I jump as TJ's voice breaks through my trance, bouncing off the bed once I come down.
Come down from thinking, I think.
Leo looks at me as the bed wobbles, an eyebrow raised.
The music stopped also.
Yeah, what is... TJ puts a paw to his muzzle. Oops. Sorry, you were just kind of staring off into space?
Man, if I saw one of my exes and they had a bracelet on with my name on it, I'd be so sure they were there to kill me.
Whoa.
Like, there are people that if I saw at my workplace, I would have to go leave because they're
hunting me.
It's not even as if they're threatening that they've ever said anything. It's just it'd be one of those things where it's like that one guy that just contacts me randomly like every 3 years, and I dated him once in high school. Like, that person, if he found out where I worked, I'd be very worried if he showed up, because I'd be like,
what brought you?
I don't know why you're so... And he'd have he'd just rip open his shirt and just say Stephanie on his chest or something.
It just has the weird energy of that guy that just stood at your car for an hour.
That was so fucking weird, dude. I was watching your car for you, and I was like, you don't have to do that. I was in that Starbucks for a solid 30 minutes. I don't know you.
What the fuck? I don't like it. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Be careful out there, everyone. People are weird.
Yeah, just thinking about stuff. What's up? We were just talking about the last game. Didn't you tell me that you saw the movie on the drive here?
I really don't get you right now, TJ. The last game was the worst Lions Brigade movie.
You're just mad because they didn't follow the comics. Yeah, Carl. As a movie, it was just better. I'm sure the comics are great too, though.
What was the movie called? What was it?
The Last Game, I think.
What do you think it's supposed to be?
I don't know. Lions Brigade is probably Lionsgate. The studio.
I don't know.
So the last... What year is it?
See, we don't. Yeah, we can't figure it out
it?
because we don't know what year it is. But I'm sure they're making a reference to something. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking Ender's Game, but that came out way
I'm guessing
later.
it's 2014.
Yeah, probably.
For two reasons. One, the game took 7 years to make, so it might have actually been started in 2014.
But if they were,
but also they
freshmen. Yeah, they were like freshmen.
It was 2008. And
Yeah.
he said he has 3 years that he had to last that place.
Yeah.
And now he's been away for 3 years. So it's been 6 years, probably. So it's probably 2014. Which was 8 years ago. We're all turning into dust.
Yes.
Everybody is old now. Look at the characters aging before our eyes. It's like we just met them yesterday.
That's how I feel about you.
Whoa.
That's how I feel about me.
Whoa.
I've known you guys for a long time now. No, I'm dying.
No. Nah, the comics are shit. Carl tried showing them to me once.
What? See, this is the problem. They never follow the source material, and no one cares because they have no respect for the originals, man.
You're way too picky, Carl. The last game was a great movie.
Not you too, Leo.
I don't know. I think Lions Brigade was always a bit violent for me. Oh, so it's not a studio, it's the series. Well, with all the shooting and punching and I'm a Christian. Do you guys remember that? I've always liked the Trinity Weasel. She's the thinking man's superheroine.
I've always really liked
because she's the Holy Trinity.
Maybe.
The thinking man's superheroine.
I always really liked the Chronicles of Narnia because the lion's an allegory for God.
Get it? Carl waves his paw dismissively.
The Trinity comics have always been pretty lame. They're jerk-off fodder for lonely nerds. And so's the movie.
You mean like yourself?
Hey, I've got an imaginary girlfriend, remember?
Hold up, we're talking about Trinity now? Julia Blasco, she's hella fine.
God, what the fuck are they referencing? I feel like this is something specific.
I'm not gonna read into it that hard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to ignore it.
Never seen an ass like hers on a weasel before.
Once you move that tail out of the way, just see it and it's beautiful. That's because it's fake.
No, I just like the story. It's really kind of deep, if you think about it. Like her crack. No. It was hard to think about when half the shots are slow-mo and she's doing all these flips and back bends and shit.
I didn't think that was your sort of thing anyway, Flynn.
Flynn doesn't have time to retort before Jenna shifts her attention, seemingly coming to TJ's defense.
Come on, Trinity does have more story going on than your average superhero movie. I think it's great that you like her character overall, the meatheads.
Yeah, they just stuck in all the boob shots to reel in the dummies. Me trying to explain why I like Dead or Alive, which is like entirely fan service.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny to me when I met you and you told me you like those.
I'm like, no, it's my favorite fighting game, and I'm like,
it's one of those, because
it's really fun.
It's one of those things where it's like you told me that, and I was like, I know for a fact. Like I did not know you were gay yet, but I was just like, I know for a fact, knowing Keith, that has nothing to do with anything sexual. It's just funny that you picked like one of the most sexualized fighting game
made worse
franchises.
By the fact that, of course, the
volleyball beach,
the volleyball spinoff,
yeah, and you could like buy them different bathing suits, and then that. You can, like, is that the one where you can like give them flowers and stuff and make them love you?
Yeah, you're trying to like date them all essentially.
I loved the Game Grumps one on that where Aaron got really pissed off because he was trying to make enough money.
He's trying to play casino games. He's talking about the tower, and it slowly seems to evolve into like, does Aaron have like a real life gambling problem? like that's the subplot. Like you're starting to be like, hang on a minute.
He got really obsessed. He's like, I need her to love me.
Helena's not even like top 3 for me either. I'm like, what? But I always played as Christy.
The I know,
the assassin that shoots Helena.
She's cool.
Or shoots her mom. She literally shoots her mom at an opera.
I remember there being some girl that was a little bit more I want to say like gothy. Is there some girl with dark hair who's kind of cool? Whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about that.
There's no gothic
you know
character.
Who's what's his name? My favorite fighting game character. It's not Valdo. Valdo's the sexiest fighting game character of all time.
I always played Keelik in that game.
Yoshimitsu's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I played Keelik and Maxi with his nunchucks.
Yes.
He's so much. Of course, that's easy for someone like you to say, because I see what's going on here. Maybe you should watch Luce Lobo, TJ. He's shirtless the whole time. TJ's ears go flat, tufts pointed at the ground. I'd better stop it with all this saucy talk. The only way this could get any more awkward is if you got sprung.
Well, are you? Can I check? Dick check, everyone.
We all groan in unison, but TJ shoots right back. And knowing you, that's exactly what you want to happen, isn't it, Flynn? That gets a few surprised chuckles.
Damn, TJ, where'd that come from?
It isn't that it's a particularly good joke, it's that it came from TJ that makes it so funny. I don't think I've ever heard him talk like that. Even Flynn can't keep from grinning a little bit. The joke is everyone's gay, maybe? We talk late into the afternoon. At this point, all of my worries have disappeared, leaving a happy, warm feeling in its place. It seems silly that I'd been so nervous earlier. In fact, I'm starting to look forward to the rest of the week. Alright. Oopsie. That's the pause button. Leo steps back, indicating that we should all shut up. Now we all need to remember that Chase is here to do his school project, so that comes first. But I did make a few plans for things that we can do in his off time. I'm pretty sure all of us know that we're going to Southwest Adventures tomorrow, so I'll pick these two up. He jerks his head towards Flynn and Carl. Then swing by the motel to get you guys at 9, alright?
Sounds good.
Then I was thinking about doing some stuff in Peyton towards the end of the week, but we'll make those plans later. In between those times, we should find time to hang out as well. Make the most of this. Leo looks about done, but suddenly snaps his fingers as if he remembers something. Oh, yeah. Chase, I saw you had a camera. Think you can get a pic of us? It'd be nice for all of us to have something that isn't camera phone quality. Oh, sure. I was messing with the self-timer earlier.
I just imagine being like, oh gosh, it's all packed up. Let me pull out the fucking tripod, set all this up. I just want to relax, guys. I just want a sandwich.
I didn't want to work. Should be able to get it to work. After a few minutes of me adjusting the tripod and Leo admitting to everyone, adjusting everyone at the end of one of the beds, we managed to get into position.
You want a picture in this room, guys? You don't want to go outside?
Listen, it's echo.
I know, but come on, dude. Oh my gosh.
All right, here goes. I set the timer and fast walk to the spot Leo saved for me.
People are just gonna think you're having an orgy. Who takes a picture in a hotel room like that?
What's it look like?
Oh. Like I like how they
tiny
like,
TJ.
What's it? Fucking Carl's definitely stone looking. They made his eyes red.
Yeah. Flynn is just—he will not smile. He just refuses.
He's too cool.
I'm so stoic. For the next 2 hours, we watch a movie on TV. Not really paying attention, mostly catching up with each other on how we've been. It's good to be back, and it feels like we're all just picking up where we left off 3 years ago. It's really nice. Finally, at about 10, Leo, Carl, and Flynn head out. I spend the next 20 minutes tinkering with the equipment, making sure it's all in order for shooting the next day. Once TJ finishes getting ready for bed in the bathroom, I do as well, before getting into bed. Head to toe with TJ.
Why are fucking...
They're gonna sleep head to toe.
Boys is so weird.
I hate that idea.
Yeah, isn't it? I think
Would you like to sleep next to my feet?
I mean, some people will have like a fetish for that. I feel like that could be just as sexual as sleeping.
Yeah,
like
it's just like this fear that we're gonna somehow end up like locked onto somebody. You're like, oh no, what if I roll onto them?
Oh no, what if I like
is it
grab onto them in my sleep?
Is it TJ's like Christianity? Has he got some like stuff to work through there? Like,
I mean, I believe
it just
maybe
seems
that.
excessive. It's unnecessary.
So you go to like a girl sleepover, just no one gives two fucks. You're all sleeping in the same bed, like whatever, you know.
There's a soft glow from the corner as Jenna sits at the table reading something. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for her to go to sleep. There's a chain attached to my ankle as I walk away from the lake, my legs and feet caked in mud. I look back, seeing at the chain snaking back around the rocks and reeds before disappearing into the water. Looking ahead again, I see Leo. He's smiling, waving at me. I walk towards him and the chain stays slack, pulling easily out of the water. There's an anchor in the lake, I say. I stare at him, but he doesn't say anything and just keeps smiling. I crouch on the rocks, wrapping the chain around my wrist a few times. Leo kneels next to me, rubbing my back and sticking out his arm to compare our bracelets, saying that everyone gets one. He seems happy, but now I'm stuck here. I can't even stand up to walk. Weird dream. That's just like a weird surreal thing. Just obviously chained and there's something wrong and nobody's acknowledging it. Look at our bracelets.
I don't have dreams very often.
Did they all have... Ooh. I wonder if that's the origin. Did they go to like a thing and then all of them got bracelets with their names on them? But
Maybe.
Now he ended up with chases.
That's very possible.
Or something. Because he said that everyone... There's a hint that everyone got one or something.
Well, I mean, if... obviously, like an anchor is symbolic of like being trapped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like in terms of symbolism, it can mean like a sturdiness or like a solidness, like being like someone's rock is like being someone's anchor, but at the same time, it also represents like being trapped and being stuck. Yeah. So it's like in chases or in.
It's like kind of romantic if they're a thing, but if they're exes, then it's like
that's exactly it. Where it's like if Leo's like, oh, I'm happy that you're stuck with me, but if Chase is like, oh shit, I'm stuck and I'm not happy about it. It feels different to be stuck if you're happy versus if you're unhappy. Yeah. So.
Peyton is about a bit of distance away. That's
descriptive.
Yeah, that sentence meant a thing.
I'm glad that I wish Google Maps talked to me like that.
Yeah. To get there, you have to get on Route 93, which Flynn tells me isn't even called that anymore. That would make sense considering how it was impossible to find on the GPS. Anyway, to get to the city, you have to merge from the remnants of 93 onto I-40, which runs straight through the city of Peyton.
Is I-40? Oh, that sounds really familiar.
I mean, they're just numbers and eyes. It all sounds familiar to me. About 15 minutes from Peyton, we pull over at a rest stop which sits at a higher elevation than Echo. If you're looking in the right direction, it gives you a great view of the town. But we're going to look at these instead. These big ol' shields. I stand outside the old, run-down restroom, a paw over my eyes as I stare out over the desert.
I-40, by the way, literally crosses the entire United States in a horizontal line.
Oh, it's down there.
From Barstow, California, all the way to...
So they're definitely in Southern California.
Where is that? Benson, North Carolina? Yeah, it's a complete straight line starting in California.
Yeah, but it's like way down there. It's not near us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the Highway 65 they were referring to last time just goes in a straight line through the middle of California. So we only knew at that point.
We can now triangulate them.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find it because we just knew it was like somewhere in the middle chunk of California. We just didn't know if it was up
now we know
down.
It's in Southern Valley.
Yeah.
Closer to LA than here, probably. A distant, hazy view of a group of small buildings huddled together signals where the town is.
Keith and I are going to go find this structure.
Exactly.
Go on an adventure.
I mean, I've seen this structure because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
From this vicarious distance, it looks small and harmless. Hard to imagine all the things that happened here. Alright, how do I use this thing? I look over and see Leo fumbling with the camera, obviously worried that he's going to break it.
Then don't touch it.
I walk over and show him how to use it, checking the white balance and exposure myself. I wasn't too good with cameras, but the equipment manager at the university had given me a quick lesson on how to do things. Alright. I want you to zoom out from Echo, slowly, and while you do that, I'm going to walk in frame, okay? Yeah, okay. Leo hoists the camera up and looks through the viewfinder, ears perked up and smiling. Alright, signal me when you're ready. I adjust the clip-on mic while Leo focuses the camera, then raises his paw, signaling that I should start. I walk into the frame, keeping one paw in my pocket and using the other to gesture. I hope I don't look too awkward. I always feel like I do. Yes. That is...
If you think that way, you probably do.
I mean, that's just how I always feel. That's the whole ass town. Echo first began as a settlement in 1852 after James Hendricks discovered gold in a quartz deposit. The town grew quickly in size, and once it began to serve as a junction along Prescott Railway, it reached a peak population of 6,500 in 1877. It was at this point in time that a peculiar phenomenon of mass hysteria took over. Many say the reason this occurred was due to the discovery of a body within the gold mine and the circumstances surrounding that discovery. While not much is known about this event, what is known is that once it ended, a large portion of the population left Echo. Most of those who left settled in the nearby town of Peyton. However, the town still managed to prosper well enough into the 40s. That's when the government stepped in to shut down the mine, as it became a federal law to divert all mining resources to the war effort. The town's population sharply declined shortly thereafter. By the 1950s, it had dwindled to approximately 2,000 people. A shutdown of Prescott Railway in the 1960s, followed by the bypassing of Route 93 and I-40 in 1986, was the final nail in the coffin for the town. By the 90s, the population had dwindled to just 150 people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So think about how much of the population of the town was in that party.
There's yeah, which we didn't get invited to. Our street probably has, like, I'm trying to think, just this street that we live on probably has almost 100 people.
Isn't it surreal to even think about? It's like those tiny towns that were, it looks like the little chunk along the road is practically the whole town. Like in the mountains.
There was that one documentary about that one cult. The documentary's called like Wild Wild Country, I think. But basically they took advantage of the fact that there was like this really small town, and they moved in a bunch of people, and they got it to where there was more people than the population, which didn't take a lot of people, and then so they just outvoted everyone in the town. So they had all this like large area, I think in Oregon, to do all their cult activities. Because they basically became like the entire town government.
My goal, however, is to investigate the first event which led to this town's decline and possible demise. What happened to that mine almost 150 years ago? I've come to Echo to try and find out what information, if any, can be gleaned from the events of the past. I wait for a few seconds, then look at Leo. That good? Yeah, I don't know how to stop this, though. Here. I walk over to take the heavy camera off of Leo's paws. That was pretty good. You want to be a reporter? Maybe. I'd rather just write than be on the camera, though.
Yo, Chase.
Leo and I look up towards the car, greeted by the sight of a bright white ram's ass hanging out of the back window of Leo's van. I don't really react. I mean, despite being self-conscious about his weight, Carl was pretty shameless about stuff like this. I'd probably seen his naked butt more often than I'd seen Leo's, and that was saying something.
That means we definitely progressed our relationship after the last game. Make sure you get a shot of my... Hey!
At that moment, Flynn, who was sitting next to Carl in the back, reaches around and yanks the ram's pants down so that they hang around his knees. Even though Carl's pretty quick to pull them back up, I still get a very good view of his equally big white balls dangling between his legs. Leo snorts, and I can see Flynn laughing his ass off while Carl punches him in the shoulder. Unfortunately for TJ, who is sitting in the middle row with Jenna, he was looking back at the time and probably got a much better view than I did. Now he's facing forward, covering his face, while Jenna sits next to him reading a book, looking uninterested. Nearly 21 and still doing that, huh?
You're right, it was 6 years.
Boom.
Good job.
Boom, boom, boom. Everything's boom. Did all the thing. Alright. Yeah, it's a little more awkward without you three around, though.
Yeah, because it's half as many people, so...
So it's just him. We head back to the car, and I grab the camera bag from the passenger seat to put the camera away.
Hey, did you see my ass?
Saw more than that. Your thing's about the horrors of Echo, right? It'll be a perfect fit. Well, if you can even fit it on the camera. I stashed the camera bag in the footwell before hopping in. Southwest Adventures is an amusement park right in the middle of Peyton. It's decent enough that we probably should have ended the episode a sentence ago.
Right. This is your channel.
Location change approximately 40 minutes in. I have a rhythm.